Hi, this is Brazel and welcome back to my world. Again, I'm visiting Mandy at her beautiful house in Mosman, and we have Grace here as well. Now, you will have met Mandy on some of my other interviews when we did the bedroom when she was starting off with Mum's Manual.
Yes.
Then we looked at Gracie's room to make sure everything was fine there. And today we're talking about the boys' room. Now, Mandy has two beautiful little boys, George and Harry. And when Grace came along, we moved them into the same room.
Yep.
And when you've got that middle child, that is sometimes when you move two children into the same room, when a few little problems arise. You hear that all the time, don't you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, everyone gets really nervous when there's a third baby expected because most of us either only have three bedrooms, or we want a spare bedroom for guests. And in our case, we did it for two reasons. Firstly, because we needed the room for Grace, and secondly, because Harry wasn't sleeping well by himself. So we thought if we put the boys together, maybe that, and an old wives' tale that they'll sleep better together.
So the two boys come in. Mandy does her beautiful decorating and does what most parents think they're doing in giving two boys in one room little separate identities. So having the same style of quilt, but giving one little boy one colour and the other little boy a different colour. But after moving them in together, Mandy's, Chris, can you come over and see us? Harry was just getting sick, wasn't he? He was picking up everything.
Someone would come in with the flu and Harry would get pneumonia. Someone came in rubbing their ear and Harry would have a middle ear infection. Someone would come in with a cough and Harry would get whooping cough. So he was getting sick, he wasn't sleeping. So I had a new baby who I was up for, and I had Harry up, more times than Grace was. So it sort of was, I didn't know if I'd done the wrong thing by moving them in together. Yeah. So that's why I rang, because I didn't feel like it was the wrong move, but I felt that there was something not right in their rooms.
But so over I come with my little bag of tricks, and it was really easy as soon as I come in. Now, the first thing I always do is number crunch. You always have to know the energy of your child through their date of birth. And little Harry has 10. He's born on the 10th, so he has the energy of 1. So 1 is all about his identity. He needs to know what tribe he belongs to. So the bedroom is the main room in the house that affects him considerably. And so when he doesn't realise what tribe he belongs to, or he loses a little bit of confidence, that's when the illness and everything will come in. So what I suggested to Mandy, I saw the two being together in the same room as being absolutely fabulous, but I saw what the problem is you have George with red and you have Harry in blue. So poor Harry doesn't know what tribe he belongs to. We need to give him a little bit of difference by having stripes instead of checks, but we need to give him the same colour so he knows he's the same tribe as his brother and marching down the street. And being a middle child when you've got another little girl, you kind of lose your identity a bit.
And it's funny that I used to hang the dooners on the line and they would fight over who would get which colour, and they always wanted the red.
Yeah.
They always wanted the red.
So the first thing we did is I said to Mandy, we've got to get Harry feeling as if he's part of exactly the same tribe as George. So we opted for the two red quilts. So that was the first thing. And then when a little boy gets sick, then it can be, there's an energy trap there. So I said, well, let's take his identity a little bit further. He knows he's in the same tribe as his brother, and he knows he's a scamel, well and truly. Yeah. But what he needed to do is then be his own little self within the tribe. So that's when we made sure we got him a H pillow for Harry. Best of all, we got this amazing teddy bears. At the post office, you can get these beautiful teddy bears, and you can get their name put on there. So he's got his teddy bear, which has Harry Scamel. Now, as we did anything for Harry, we did it for George. So they were both on exactly that same plane. On the front of his bed, he's got a H. He's got a H by his side. George has got a G by his bed. They've got the same coloured lamps. They've got the same amount of teddy bears and items around. So they know they're on an equal basis, which is very important for a middle child. They know that one's not more important than the other, which is again important when you've got brothers and sisters in the one family. Now, George has got his checks and Harry's got his stripes. So they've got the same colour, but they've got that little bit of different pattern there, and then they've got their H's and their G's. Now the next thing is with Harry being born on the 10th, which is a 1 energy, it's always about finishing thing or what's going to happen in the future. So the next thing I said to Mandy is, you ain't got a light bulb, you haven't got a cover on your light bulb, that is so not right for the kids' room. And this Mandy's kind of...
well, we finished renovating, you know, with our first baby, and you know, I just didn't look up. I didn't look up downstairs, and I probably should have looked up, but you know, Harry wasn't sleeping well, and as soon as we went and I got a red light and beautiful lampshade.
It is beautiful.
He loves it. I was telling Chris that he hugged the Sparky. When the Sparky put it up, he thought it was beautiful. So yeah, he loves it. It's the first thing he switches on of a morning and the last thing he switches off of a night.
And that will come back to a child being born on the 10th or the 1st, light or the sun is very important for them. Also, it's about the future. So that would, by having the cover, is something that's finished. So often with one you start but you don't actually finish it. So when Harry's not sleeping or when he was getting sick, when he was looking up, he was seeing something that wasn't finished, that didn't have that full glow. Since putting the light there, he's seeing an item that is finished, which makes a huge difference. But, you know, looking at the Doona covers, a few little items with his name on it, finishing off you know, a cover with a light bulb, we now have a very happy little boy.
Yeah.
When's the last time he was sick now?
Oh, probably before I called you. He hasn't been sick since.
No.
And he loves his room. I mean, he's so happy in here now, and him and George, we don't hear boo out of them. They come in here, I don't know what they do, but they come in here. I don't hear boo, so that's all good. And it was, you know, it's just made life so much easier having two happy boys sharing a room.
Yeah. But, you know, one of the things when I turned up today is Mandy was telling me Harry will not leave of a morning unless he's made his bed.
Oh, has to make his bed. Has to make his bed.
Yeah.
And so does George. And they line all the pillows up, and if I try and move them when they get home, or when after we've got home from, you know, sport and the cleaner's been, he is furious. Has to be the way he wants it.
But that's a 2-year-old making his bed, very conscious of how his room is. And that's what you start to do. Like, you know, you have families or parents will say, oh, they won't clean up the room, they won't make their bed. It could just be a simple thing that you don't have them in the right energy environment, and they're trying to tell you in some way or some form, because to me, when a 2-year-old wants to make his bed, he knows who he is, he's got confidence, he's focused, but he's taking responsibility of where he wants to go. So it's so easy. So this is Chris Brazel and Mandy out. If you've got, if you're a young mum and you're trying to sort out, well, you just need some inspiration and some of those tips, you've got to check out Mum's Manual. It's absolutely fabulous. Mandy is a mum of 3 children, so if anyone knows, and they're all under
4.5.
4.5, plus she runs the business, and she still looks fabulous. So if you know, if she can do it, you can do it too. And if you've got problems with your children, or
call Chris,
or if you're having problems at home, there is no need for that to continue. All you've got to do is make some changes in your home, because your home equals you. And when you change anything in your home, you're changing something about your life. So this is Chris Brazel and
Mandy.
We're out for now, and I will be back with another super fabulous interview. And if by any chance you want us to come to your place and give a little bit of expert advice on bubs and mums and me on the colours and the numbers, give us a call and we will come over and sort you out. Cheers. Bye. Hi, this is Chris Brazel and welcome back to my world. You may have seen an interview with Mandy and me about her 2 beautiful boys in their room. So I just want to take you on a guided tour of the room since we've spoken about it. So this is Harry's bed, and yeah, he's only 2, but he's got a railing here. And I think 2-year-olds are really ready to go into a bed. And because he's sharing with his brother, you want to let him still feel as if he's got his identity and he's a big man just like his brother, and to put him still in some form of cot would be really wrong here. And this bed is absolutely fabulous. So this is our striped quilt that we've got for Harry with his H cushion and his bear. And if you look over here, we've got George with his check quilt. and he's got his bear as well as his little toys. Now what I first came is Mandy had a lot of the decals, which were all of this, also over there, so they're kind of all over the place. So what I suggested is we put all the fun younger decals over here for Harry, so he has that feeling of abundance and it's a younger type of energy. And we've also given him the little sea sun energy up there. Now when we came to George's, we gave him a little bit more grown up decals, and he's got the dinosaurs, which is all about, you know, walking to where you want to go, and he's got the stars up there. So we've got the stars and we've got the moon. Now the other thing is, by doing that, Harry knows that he's a little bit younger subconsciously to George being a little bit older. So you're still giving them the same tribe because they've both got decals, but you're giving them their own individual identity. This is the amazing light that we've got put together. So one of the important things to watch in children's rooms is the cover of the light, but you've really got to watch not having a blue light or a blue shade with a light bulb, particularly if there's lots of problems with emotions. So really check the color of your shade, and the reason you don't have a blue shade on a light is you've got a bit of fire and water happening there, so you might find that you get in conflict or the kids feel as if they're in conflict. They've both got their two bedside lamps. We've got Harry with his H and George with his G, and this is their cupboard where they've got all their toys. Now we know Harry is born on the 10th, so it's all about new beginnings, focus, his identity. But George is born on the 18th. So for George, sometimes it can be a divorcing number, and it's about communication. And so it's very important, if anyone comes into his room, that they either put back things in the right place. Now, he'll know when someone's come into his room. He'll even know if someone's taken something out of the jar and played with it. Now, he loves to share, that's not the problem, but it's kind of like a respect for his toys. And so if it's not in that right place, he can often get, well, he can't feel as he wants to go to bed and he can't sleep and he feels really, really agitated. So if you've got a child born on the 18th, you've really got to understand how they like to finish things off. So if anyone comes in and plays in his rooms and they just leave all the toys all over the place, that will annoy George right up to the deep end, because he likes it to be neat, tidy, organised and put away. So check those things. It's so important for you to know your child, to know their date of birth, to know what the energies are that affect them. And how simple is it to have a jar, so when George shares with his toys, he has friends over to play, then they all put everything back. I mean, it results for a nice tidy room at the end of the day. So I hope you've enjoyed George and Harry's room, and I've given you a few tips, and thank you to Mandy for letting us to come in here. Mandy and I are actually going to shoot off and do quite a few more houses, because we've had so much fun doing this. And if you've got a house nearby, if it's particularly in Sydney, that you would like us to visit and see if we can sort you out, just give us a call or email and let us know, and let us help other mums, help other mums, help other mums, because everything is about sharing at the end of the day. So this is Chris Brazel out for now, and I'll be back with another interview or another story at a later date. Cheers.